with nextlevelguitar.com, and today I'm going to show you a really cool technique, rockabilly fingerpicking. Definitely want to get you off the pick today for this segment. I want you to throw it away. I don't want you to look at it. I really want you to concentrate on your fingerpicking hand, so as opposed to just your index and your thumb. We're really going to get you to try and use your middle and your ring finger today. So let's get into a really simple, really easy broken down little riff that I think when you really start getting into it, you can really impress people, but it's a really easy riff to do. Really what we're going to concentrate on is what I call going outside in. So we're going from our outside strings all the way to the inside strings. So let's do that right now. Pretty much just keep your hand on an E major chord. It's very easy to play. And right now what I'm going to just pretty much break down this rhythm for you. For this segment I really only want you to use your thumb and your index finger, but you're really going to be bouncing around a lot. So we're going to break it down real slow right now. Like I said earlier, this is pretty much just going to be a simple outside-in type of method. And if you're familiar with any pull-off technique, we're going to show that in a second too. So right now, we're just concentrating on two notes, our open E's. So keep your chord fretted, but we're just going to play those open E's right now. We're going to go low E to high E. So just keep playing that rhythm. Now we're pretty much going to repeat it, but we're going to go in one, so it's pretty simple. Keep your chord there, but now we're going to go E to E and A to our B string. Okay? Okay, now we're going to try it. With your E chord, you're actually going to use your index finger on the E chord, and you're going to pretty much do like a open pull-on, I guess you call it. So you're going to play an open G and then add that string back down on the G sharp with this note. So here's our E chord. We're going to be adding that G sharp on. For the segment, you're pretty much just going to keep that E going, but once you come to that string, you're going to take your index finger off of that G string, and you're pretty much just going to hammer it on, but by only plucking it once. So you end up getting almost like a two-picking tone because you're plucking it once, but when that adds on like that, it almost sounds like you're playing it twice, but you're not. The technique that this does is gives you timing to also go back to other strings. So it sounds like you're playing it really complex, but you're just timing it out really well. So here's what we have so far. You know that we're going from outside in, and now we're going to try the outside in with the G hammer on that we just showed. So let's try that in sequence right now. We're going to go E to E, A to B, and hammer on G. So here it is really slow, and then we're going to try it maybe a little bit faster after that. Now we're going to keep doing that, but for a little bit of rhythmic flavor, I guess we could say, we're going to actually try and hit that A one more time. So let's complicate that rhythm just a little bit more, and we're going to try it this way. We're going to try E to E, A to B, A one more time, and then our pull off. So let's try that again real slow. We're just adding that A right before we go to that G pull on. Let's do that one more time. So now we're just going to add one more note. In this lesson, I pretty much want you to just keep building it one note at a time, to where maybe within that day or next few days you can really grasp it really well. All right, so now we're going to try and do that next note in our sequence, which is actually going to be keeping your fingers still in the position of the E chord, but practicing with your pinky on the high E, but you're actually plucking it at the 3rd fret, which is G note. So we're going to try that 2 plucks, 1 on, 1 off. Alright, so now we're back to the rhythm hand, and we're going to show how that pinky really comes into play. So we're going to go in order still pretty slow, so we're going to be going outside in. So let's try that right now with our E chord. I'm using these fingers pretty much just to rest or mute the strings, but the whole time I'm only using my thumb and my index finger to pick this. That's what's one thing that's really cool about I think learning this exercise, is that it's really quite easy once you start getting into it. So let's try that again, and just watch these two fingers how I'm doing that. Alright, so now that we've broken the riff down for you and you can keep practicing that, I'd like you to try and just slowly build your momentum. I'm going to play something for you about medium paced right now, and I'm going to do it in 2 examples. I'm going to show you the way that we've taught it today. I'm going to show you another way too. As you start to become a little bit more bouncy with your strumming hand, you can actually make it sound really complex, but it's really easy. You're pretty much just bouncing around the whole time. So I'll play it in the real structured format and about a medium pace that you can build up to. And then I'll play it a second time with a little bit more complex open pull-ons. So let's try that right now. As you keep becoming more comfortable with this exercise, I'd like you to maybe even try a little bit more, added rhythms in there. One cool thing that I've been doing too in the last 2 examples that I just played was actually just adding one more little open E before I did that pull-off, so you can hear it in this example. So there's that open E that I'm adding on. It makes it even a little bit more complex. But so here's a simplified format, and then I'll show you with the open E too, just as a fun example. Now I'll add that open E before the pinky to G. Now another feature that we're doing right now too is I'm doing a slight bend with my pinky. So the more you get into this exercise, you might want to just keep practicing that. If you don't have any calluses on your pinky yet, this is definitely an exercise that'll get you there. So I want you to just actually sit and practice doing this. So you're pretty much building it up to this note. So now, here you can hear that in sequence. So definitely with this exercise, it gives you a little bit of freedom to really get creative on your own. I don't want you to think this is too structured, but definitely the simpler you start out, the easier it's going to be. And like I said earlier, it's really neat once you start getting into this exercise that you can really sound complex, but it's really quite simple. It's the hoppy rhythm, that really makes it, I think, a different sound. So here's pretty much our example in a real simple 3-chord sequence. So we're going to try that right now. I think the riff sounds really cool when you make that the complex part. Now we're going to go E to an A. It's almost like a power chorded B. We're pretty much just going to use those 3 middle strings right there. So let's try that right now. So definitely you can see how it works in a sequence with chords. When you're trying out really simple, you might be thinking, well, this might be too easy, but it's not, because once you really start using it in song, it's really a cool feature to have under your repertoire of guitar playing skills. So once again, this is Jason Lee with NextLevelGuitar.com. Stay tuned for more previews and more tech lessons, and make sure to visit NextLevelGuitar.com.